Good morning. A couple of minutes late here. Sorry about that. Yeah, when you get on and then Facebook decides to just shut down and you've got to restart. So yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, how's it going? March 23rd. Crazy. We're almost hitting spring break here in another week or two and plugging away. So yeah, let's see what's been going on. I know that this last week there was the Little House reunion on the Stars thing. Can't remember exactly what it's called. I watched it, but hope you guys enjoyed that. Super fun. Seeing everyone, all the big names, so that's super fun. Yeah, good morning. It's so good to have you. Let's see. I guess I had a busy weekend. I had another virtual women's retreat for a little church in Pennsylvania on Sunday, so that was super fun. I also learned that I'm not going to be going to Baroque this summer. Yeah, they're scaling back the event and due to, attendance and not sure what's going to happen. So, kind of sad, but it's okay. I will make it to Baroque at some point in my life, which would be fun. I hope it's not too loud out here. I got a plane overhead. I got some cars going by, but I thought you guys might like to see the blue sky and the sunshine today. So, yeah. Let's see. We're talking about learning today. And this is so interesting because I think sometimes we think we get to a certain age and we don't need to keep learning. And this is just a reminder that we always have to keep learning. And this story is a story that actually Melissa Gilbert told me. And this is one of those memories with her. So it's pretty fun. So I'm going to read it and then we'll talk about learning and just challenging you guys to keep learning. So let me get my glasses on. This is chapter 28 in a Prairie Devotional. We're about a third of the way through. It's from season 1, episode 2, Country Girls, possibly the greatest episode of all time. And this is Carolyn Ingalls when they're sitting at the table and Laura is just frustrated because school is hard and she's just started school for the first time and school is hard. And Carolyn says, "We start learning when we are born, and if we are wise, we won't stop until the good Lord takes us home." And that is just so true. Let me get a drink here. Yeah. We got to keep learning, keep growing. All right, so I'm going to read it for you. Learning is a lifelong process. It keeps our minds engaged with the world around us. When Laura doesn't want to go to school, Carolyn explains that learning is the best choice. Our lives are a continual lesson of growing in knowledge, and character is rewarding. During our first season on the set, my sister and I spent many hours in our dressing room. Filming required quiet sets, and we weren't always compliant. The older children were either on camera or with Mrs. Fife, the government-appointed teacher. Sometimes Melissa Gilbert would sneak over to our trailer. We had more scenes with Half Pint than any of the other children, and we felt comfortable with her. Melissa even claims to have taught us our first word. We were stringing beads on the floor when one of us said, "bead," our first shot at learning. Even now, there's so much I don't know about myself and especially about God. To keep learning, I have to be open to instruction and willing to practice. Growing in my knowledge of God has been a steady pursuit. When we are young, learning is instinctive, but the more we age, the more intentional we have to be. I, for one, intend to take Carolyn's advice and never stop learning. And the verse is from Psalms 86:11, and it says, "Teach me your way, O Lord, that I may walk in your truth. Give me an undivided heart to revere your name." And this is a funny story because I think this was maybe the first reunion that we went to long time ago. And Melissa said, "I taught you your first word." We were sitting on the ground, and we were stringing beads on a string. I guess that's what you used to do when you were little. The wooden beads, they're all different colors. And she would say, "Bead." And she'd string it on. "Bead. Bead." And then she would go, and I'm not sure which one of it was, said, "Bead." And so she's like, "I taught you your first word." Anyway, Melissa was super fun. She was like that big sister. I mean, I had a big sister, but my big sister was only a year older than me. So this was like, she was like, oh gosh, I don't know, 11, 12, something like that. So yeah, super fun. But I think it's interesting to know that we have to be open to instruction and willing to practice. And I wonder what it is that you are working on this year. I have a few things that I'm working on, and I think it's important to not tackle too many things at one time because it can get overwhelming and you can just throw in the towel. So I think it's important to tackle a few things and really work on them. And I have two things that I've been working on this year. One is to listen. I'm really working on listening. And part of that is listening to the Bible in 2021, the whole thing. I got up this morning and I was like, I need to go listen to my chapters. So, you got to do it. My second thing that I'm working on is to move my body every day in 2021. Now, I've already failed more than a couple times, and that is okay. I think the most important thing about learning is to know that you're gonna make mistakes and you're gonna fail, and it's okay to fall off the wagon and get right back on. So this morning I got up, I put on my workout clothes, I went down to my garage and I listened to my 3 chapters. I learned about Samson today on my 3 chapters, and I did my elliptical. And it takes discipline and it takes practice. So I wonder, what is it that you are learning? And are you open to instruction? And are you willing to practice? I wonder what that is. Wendy just said in her thing that she's learning other languages and about cooking and exercise. That's awesome. I would love to learn another language. Yeah, I think it's really important for us to always be growing and always be learning. I have another thing. I'm going to try to read 30 books this year. That's my goal. I've read 4 so far, and I've got 2 more that are almost done. But so that's another one of my goals. I wonder what you are learning these days. Yeah, what are you learning? I also have a coach that I meet with every month or 2, and that is me learning about myself and trying to grow in my character and how to just be better, how to treat myself better, and how to treat others better. So yeah, what are you learning? And maybe today, if you don't have any goals for the year, which I'm not a huge, what's that called? New Year's resolution person. I just like to call them goals. Like if you don't have any goals for the year, think about it. What's one thing that you want to work on this year? One thing. Yeah. Anyway, let's see. The rest of my day, I have to go to the dentist. It's never a fun thing. I have a really small mouth. It's really hard to keep it open for a long time. So yeah. Oh, Sally, she says, my husband is on hospice and I'm learning to live in the moment. That is such a good lesson, Sally. I love that. So cool. So cool. Trisha just asked, did you watch The Last Farewell? Well, yes, of course I watched The Last Farewell. I was not there in person because I was already off the show, but I have watched it. I have all the DVDs, so yes, I have watched it, and yes, I cry every single time. So, yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'm going to go get ready for the dentist. So, I hope you keep learning. Learn about yourself. Learn about the most important thing ever to learn about, which is God and His love for us and spreading that love to other people. So I'm going to leave you with that, and I hope that you have a great day. Okay, bye.